Guys, Real Madrid beats Villarreal 2-0 at the Ceramica. Of course, a big win for Real Madrid, but I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced about this team, and you don't need to be fooled by that scoreline because yes, Real Madrid go top of the La Liga, and yes, Real Madrid get a big away win, but this wasn't enough, and let me tell you why. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, to Honest, Tactical, and just no PR bullshit from me, of course, at A9 Media. Road to 200 subscribers, and let's get into the video. Yes, Real Madrid beat Villarreal 2-0, but I'm not convinced, and I don't think you should be convinced either, because Real Madrid in that game had too many moments of uncertainty. Real Madrid just have too many moments of non-quality from this footballing club that continuously happens over the last 2 years. Of course, Arbeloa coming in. You know, there were so many reports before this game that there's a change in mentality. There's a change in belief that, you know, Vinicius Jr. feels rejuvenated. You know, all these players are new players now and they're improved players. And I said on my X, I said, this is going to be a big test for Real Madrid because Villarreal are going to be a different team to Monaco. They set up differently. They play differently. But what we see out there tonight just isn't good enough. Before we get into the performance, let's just talk about the lineup now. Of course, Tchouaméni was suspended in this game. So in came Camavinga in his position. And at left back, of course, Carreras continued back in after being suspended in the Champions League. Now, the two centre-back pairing was Asensio and Huijsen. And Fede Valverde continues at right back. And in the midfield next to Camavinga was Jude Bellingham. And of course, Arda Güler. And up front, Franco Mastratuano and Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. Look, I said before the game, this is going to be a difficult game. I said that I wanted Gonzalo in this game. I wanted a proper box present and a proper guy who can pin the centre-backs. Look, that didn't happen. And this is what we've seen in the game. And the same issues were there again. Real Madrid's midfield unable to pass out the back. Real Madrid unable to break down the block. I said that Real Madrid needed more overloads on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. We didn't see enough of that. We didn't see enough of combinations between Jude making runs in behind. We didn't see anything in that first half that Real Madrid needed to do. And the XG showed that because Real Madrid had the XG of 0.30 in that first half with Villarreal having a bit less. So Real Madrid, you know, having a few shots but not creating any big chances whatsoever. In the second half, things did take a bit of a change. Now, of course, Real Madrid scoring immediately in the second half with a goal by Mbappe. Vinny Jr. does what he does best. You know, stands up the defender, gets to the byline, puts it back to Mbappe. Well, puts it back to the Villarreal defender and he didn't clear it. And in comes Mbappe and he slices it, you know, between the legs of the goalkeeper. Fantastic finish. Mbappe does what he does in goal-scoring way. But can we just talk about Mbappe? Mbappe is absolutely useless in possession. I'm sorry, he's absolutely shocking. And I've said this before, that when Real Madrid are playing a team who is compact defensively, Mbappe is just useless because he constantly comes and receives the ball and wants it to feet. Whereas if he just was a proper number 9, he would be better at certain things like link-up play, like making runs in behind at the right time. Mbappe is just a one-trick pony. He's just very, very quick and he's a great goal scorer. And that's exactly what Kylian Mbappe is in this team. But Real Madrid are continuously going to struggle, and I've said it before, against teams who have, you know, a good defense, because that's what Villarreal did tonight. I thought they defended pretty well. And Villarreal, of course, did the same. You know, Villarreal had 8 shots. Real Madrid, of course, had 14 shots towards the end. 1.58 XG for Real Madrid towards the end. Of course, they did create a lot more chances after. And, of course, 0.58 for Villarreal. So Villarreal didn't create amazing chances. They did have 2 big chances to only 1 for Real Madrid. So just in terms of the overall game, of course, Mbappe getting that penalty for the second goal does what he does best. When there's space, Mbappe is great. When there's space, Vinicius Jr. is great. Now, what Mbappe is, he can't do anything when the game is in settled position. And I've said this before, this is a big issue for Real Madrid because Mbappe as a number 9 for Real Madrid is dreadful. It has to end now. Yes, I'm not saying bench Mbappe. Play him left wing or something. Play him in a different position. I'm just, as a number 9, he's absolutely useless. And the reason why Real Madrid's midfield also looks shocking is because when they do look for Mbappe, he's not there. Or when he does come, his touch is awful. His link-up play isn't good enough. He doesn't know how to play the number 9 role like a Karim Benzema. Even a Jose Luis is better than this guy. And of course, when there is need to be a crossing, because that's what you need against these teams, he's just not in the box. And this is the problem with Real Madrid. They don't have a box present and they don't have a guy who can link up because Mbappe does absolutely none of these things. Let's just talk about the midfield again. I mean, look, the midfield issues are the same again. Camavinga and Arda Güler lost the ball on so many occasions tonight. Lost the ball when they had pressure on their back. Now, of course, we've said this before about Arda Güler, that when he does get pressure from the back and he's facing, towards his own goal, he is a bit shocking. And we've seen that again today. He did lose the ball a couple of times. Camavinga did too. Real Madrid were just lucky that Villarreal was so shocking in attack that they weren't able to punish Real Madrid. On another day, this could have been at least a 1 or 2 goals, deficit for Real Madrid, because another team punishes Real Madrid in them situations. And I've said this before, there is no creativity in this midfield, and the more it continues, the more Real Madrid are just going to be unable to beat these good teams. Villarreal are third in La Liga, but they're not great in Champions League, for example. They're not the greatest team when you look at the way they play. They just like to sit very deep, they like to clog the centre of the pitch, and then they like to then hit on the transition. Now, of course, they do have decent players. I thought Moreno had a decent enough game today. He had a few good openings behind Huijsen. Like I said, if they had better players, this could have been a different result for Real Madrid today, and they created more big chances than Real Madrid. The stats are there to be shown, guys. Yes, Real Madrid had more shots, but they only created 1 big chance. They had 8 shots and they created 2 big chances, and they missed both big chances. So look, Real Madrid were kind of lucky in this game. I'm not going to sit here and say Real Madrid were amazing today. Of course, Arbeloa coming into this after, of course, Xabi Alonso losing his job. He needs to keep winning, winning the games. And of course, with this result, it means that Real Madrid are at top of the league, top of the table, 2 points ahead of Barcelona, who, of course, are playing tomorrow. Now, of course, this seems incredible because not too long ago, Real Madrid was 7 points behind Barcelona, and we are now 1 point ahead of 2 points ahead of Barcelona. But Barcelona obviously got a game tomorrow, so you're going to see the match reaction to that as well. I'm going to be watching that, of course. So look, Real Madrid, top of the league, but listen, don't be fooled by that result, because that wasn't amazing. That was still warning signs for me, and of course, until this gets fixed, I'm still going to make these type of videos because I see what I see. I'm not just going to get carried away by the result. I just think until Real Madrid can fix their problems, I just think this is going to be the same thing every single week. Real Madrid are going to win games purely because of their individual brilliance. Vinicius Jr., of course, individual brilliance for that first goal for Mbappe. And of course, for Mbappe, the second goal was a penalty made by himself. Again, like I said, in set-up position, against teams that sit back, Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., it just doesn't work. I'm sorry to say. Anyone that understands football, knows exactly where I'm coming from. And, look, guys, it's not looking great. It's looking great. And I don't get fooled by results. I see it tactically in a proper way. And I just think we can't go into another big game like this. This is going to be, one of them dangerous times. And look, I've said it before, Real Madrid will not win big games. And of course, Arbeloa coming in has just kind of thrown away the season in a way. Real Madrid just playing every game to game basis. Are we going to win Champions League like this? No. Could we win La Liga like this? Possibly, because Barcelona, of course, are inconsistent at times too. So look, a win is a win, and of course, Real Madrid are top of the league. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Of course, do you believe that this was a great performance? Do you believe that there's still warning signs like I do? Or is anything else that stood out for you? Who was your man of the match? Who wasn't your man of the match today? And of course, like and subscribe. And as always, Hala Madrid.